Let's face it, winter is not my favourite time of year to ride. My inner Fred Flintstone crawls back into his cave and all I want to do is stay in the warm, drink copious amounts of tea and eat mountains of stroop waffles. Damn their cinnamony caramel loveliness. Now obviously back in the Stone Age it made perfect physiological sense to slow the metabolism down so that you didn't burn too many calories at a time when food was scarce. Apparently though, we now live in slightly more civilised times, as demonstrated by the fact that we no longer need to go out and hunt woolly mammoths, which is pretty handy as I haven't seen one in weeks. Now the reason I'm getting all prehistoric is because the single biggest obstacle to getting out on the bike over the winter is not the weather, but it's actually your very own inner Fred. Okay, the cold and the rain doesn't make it easy, but that's what rain jackets and thermal leggings were invented for. No, it's actually Fred whispering in your ear when you find yourself saying things like, "I think I'll go out tomorrow when the weather's better." Or, "Nah." Anyone who's ever watched an episode of the Flintstones will know that Fred is not exactly the sharpest stone in the quarry. I mean, he got himself thrown out of the house by a saber-toothed tiger for heaven's sake, and they were probably extinct in the Stone Age, so he should be pretty easy to outsmart. Just do what the cat did and climb in through the window. Jesus. Fred's main problem is simply getting out of the front door, so anything you can do to make this easier will help. For me personally, I start to lack motivation when I think about all the items of clothing that I have to put on when I want to go cycling. It's a right faff. Unfortunately, there's no quick way around this, particularly as I don't fancy freezing to death. But I do try and make things a little easier by laying out everything I need the day before so that it's right there to hand when I'm getting ready for my ride. Next, try and ride with at least one other person. Talking yourself out of a ride is the easiest thing in the world, but the thought of letting someone down by not turning up or cancelling last minute might just be the motivation you need to get your caveman arse out of the house. Now, don't be put off by thinking about how far you have to ride. It's much better to actually go out and ride 10 kilometres rather than plan a 50-kilometre ride and then not do it. Chances are that once you're out, you'll start to enjoy it and end up doing a reasonable distance. But even if you do only manage that short ride, at least you weren't sat at home with a load of cinnamon and caramel flavoured crumbs down your t-shirt. Having said that though, setting some slightly more ambitious goals can help with motivation, particularly if they aren't way beyond your reach. Again, there's no point setting yourself a target that you have very little chance of achieving, although by the same token it shouldn't be so easy that there's no challenge to it at all. What you want is something that will take you a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and that can be anything. For me, a good one is a weekly distance target, but it could equally be a certain number of hours in the saddle or even a set number of rides. Having some kind of reward to look forward to has always been a very powerful motivator. Promising yourself some kind of treat after reaching a particular goal is something that is very easy to set up and can be literally anything. A cup of tea and a slice of cake when you get home after a ride, a night out after reaching your weekly distance target, or your dream trip to the World Yodeling Championships after riding every week for the entire winter. Whatever yanks your cranks. At the same time, you don't want to beat yourself up for not riding or because you failed to achieve your goals. Once you start to feel bad, your motivation will disappear quicker than Chesney Hawkes' music career. In a similar vein, you don't want to let yourself off the hook too easily with a silly excuse. Cycling over the winter is all about trying to enjoy yourself while maintaining some kind of level of fitness. If it becomes too hard or is no longer fun, you'll quickly start to question yourself about why you're doing it. Now, they say that people who are good at making excuses aren't much good at doing anything else. So why not turn this around? After all, the phrase "find an excuse" is just the negative way of saying "find a reason." If you're good at finding an excuse not to do something, it follows that you'll be just as good at finding a reason why you should. Make no mistake, Fred can be very powerful, but only if you listen to him. And at the end of the day, it's you giving him that power. Show him who's boss. Thanks for watching.